Morning, Arsene. Firstly, on a sad note, some tragic news regarding the passing of locker and defender Gregory Mertens.
Sorry?
Gregory Mertens, the locker and defender.
Oh yes, it's very sad. From heart attack, and that's of course very very sad. At 24 years of age, it's unbelievable. But I don't know, was there any problem? Had he any heart problem before? I don't know.
Away from that, it's Hull City on Monday. What's the latest team news?
Look, we have basically a full squad available. The only one who's really a doubt is Mathieu Debuchy. Chamberlain is not completely ready. Diaby, but he practices now in full sessions. Diaby as well, but we have no major injuries apart from Mathieu Debuchy.
What's the problem with Debuchy?
Little hamstring problem.
And just finally from me, Hull City on Monday night, a team that have come to form a bit late.
Yeah, they had two great performances. They were quite in a very bad situation, and they had two amazing results, especially at home. They've just beaten Liverpool, and therefore we are warned that we will face a big challenge there.
Hi Arsene. It's a great record for Arsenal in 2015 so far. Do you look back on that with pride, or is it tinged with frustration at what might have been this season?
Look, we have to look at it in a realistic way. That I feel personally that we have made progress, and so I look at it in a positive way, because what you want from a team is to show during the season to grow together and become better. We faced a big challenge because Chelsea in front of us didn't drop their level, and they were more consistent from the start to the end, and that's why we didn't catch them back. But overall, I think we feel we have made progress.
Just carrying on from the positive team news, just from last week's teams, 3 of Arsenal's starting 11 have started 25 or more league games this season, compared to 10 from Chelsea. Does that tell its own story? Do you think we'd be talking about a realistic title race now had you had a fully fit squad throughout the season?
I think so, but it's easy to say, you know. But I said many times that we had big injuries at the start of the season after the World Cup, and that we got only the squad together. Even we lost players like Wilshere, you know, in November and after again. So I think we were not all together. We had as well to find, took us some time maybe to find a good balance in the team, and we dropped some points because of that. But when you look at games like Stoke away, that was a big disappointment for us, is that we had a very young defence on the day, and the fact that you missed players was certainly detrimental to our results.
Do you think then the 13-point gap, obviously it could become 10 with the game in hand, accurately represents the gap between yourself and Chelsea?
That's always very difficult to say, because once you fight for the championship, you win some games because that's just, you smell you can do it, that you do not necessarily win if you're 4th or 5th, you know. So it doesn't necessarily represent always represent the value of the team, but the gap is the gap. As I just told you, they have been more consistent than us from the start to the end. They had a very strong start, and that kept them going until the end.
In the last 2 seasons, Arsene, you finished 4th, and you've had to pre-qualify for the Champions League. Has that adversely affected the start of the season that you've had in the past 2 seasons, and does it make it even more important to finish in the top 3?
Of course, it puts a huge pressure on you, because you're not in the Champions League. You have to qualify, and every year this kind of games become more and more difficult. We went through against Besiktas last year. It was a 0-0 away from home, a 1-0 at home, and it is not the same.
In terms of the depth and the quality of the squad that you have at your disposal at the moment, is it the best you've had since you've been here?
That's difficult to say always, you know. But if you ask me, am I happy with the depth of the squad? I will say certainly yes, because I have many international top quality players who are not even in the squad on Saturdays when everybody is available, and that has not been the case many years.
Thank you.
Okay, Jim. Oh, yes. Arsene, have you had a chance to have a look at the Leicester press conferences this week with the way Nigel Pearson reacted? Do you have sympathy with him, or is it a difficult line sometimes when you come out here and we stick microphones straight under your face when you've maybe just lost a match?
I have sympathy with him, of course. He apologized and he knows he was wrong, but it's not always easy to deal with these kind of situations. We are all human beings, and when you play for your club, not to go down, of course, it's a massive pressure.
Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you might want to call someone slightly stronger than being an officer? Obviously not with my questions.
Many times. I was. You always have, you know, but you have to control yourself and remain in controlled and polite and respectful. But of course, sometimes you feel that people are not always respectful with you.
There was a story yesterday about some issues here around one of the mothers of the younger players. Is it important that level of respect is passed right the way through from?
Yes, you know, it is basically a private matter that I don't know really well about, because I don't know really well what happened. But I know Ainsley very well, and he has my complete support because he's a good boy, and I'm sure his mother wants a great future and want to help him. And there have been some incidents that I don't know really well, and I don't know why, but the boy has a perfect behavior inside our club, and is many times the whole week he was with me in training.
Can I just ask you on Mikel Arteta? He suggested he needed a bit more time to get back into the squad. Are you expecting him within the next couple of weeks to be in contention?
He makes progress week by week, but he needs a bit more time.
Is there anything you can tell us on his contract and Riziki as well?
That will all be sorted out end of May.
Can I just ask you one final one, just general one on the FA Cup? Again, this week has been suggestions about that there might be a new sponsorship deal, that kind of thing. Does it make any real difference to the FA Cup? Does it lose any of its special appeal if it's?
No, I want it personally. For me, it will remain the FA Cup, you know. But what makes the quality of the FA Cup is the quality of the games that you get and the quality of a competition. And on that front, I think it is top quality. Will the names change? I would certainly, because of the sponsorship. That looks to be the fate of the world we live in.
Lindsay?
Arsene, you're fighting with Manchester United and Manchester City for runners-up spot. Do you think you've been a better side than they have this season?
Look, I would say Manchester City had ups and downs and started stronger than us. They were a long time in front of us. Man United was a bit like Arsenal. They had a slow start, and they become stronger in the second part of the season. It's difficult to say, you know. We fight with each other just to show that who will be the best at the end, and we are in a position at the moment where the only thing I can say is that if we do well, we will get in front of them.
You've had many different battles over the years with managers, including people like Sir Alex Ferguson and people you've known well, but we've had a lot of different managers in the Premier League recently. Is that something, you know, you've been a stable manager, do you think that's helped in terms of progressing in the club in the way that you think you have this season?
I don't know, you know, you can have incidents like with other managers. Sometimes it's a bit heated when you fight directly with them, but in the end, I believe it always gets time healed, and what is the most important is to respect each other and as much as you can.
Finally, I was at the Mourinho press conference last week and asked him about his opponents, Leicester, and he believed they would stay up. I just wondered with Hull whether you think they will stay up this season.
It looks like they will stay up, yes, with the last two results. They have made a major step, but honestly, it's very difficult to predict now who will go down, because I personally don't know, because it looks very, very tight. Up to 35 points, everybody can have fear.
Okay, last couple now, James.
Arsene, after the game on Sunday at full time, the supporters were chanting boring, boring Chelsea. Mourinho said afterwards, after you come in, that boring is 10 years without a title. Just wondered what your response was to that.
I don't. I think I just told you the biggest thing of managers is to respect each other, and some people have to improve on that.
Is it a shame that he doesn't conduct himself with a bit more dignity again?
Look, everybody lives with his own internal problems, and I live with mine, and that's enough.
Just looking ahead to the summer, just want to ask you, you've been linked with a couple of goalkeepers. Is that an area you're looking to strengthen?
No, not necessarily.
So you think the group of goalkeepers you've got at the moment will be good enough to win the title next season?
Look, I believe in the goalkeepers I have, and I believe that Chesney is a very good goalkeeper, and Ospina has come in, has done a fantastic job. Look at the numbers in the Premier League, and you see, look at who is top of all the goalkeepers, and you will see it is Ospina.
Arsene, it's your best points tally this season after 33 games, it's your best since 2010. But despite the start you had, what do you put that down to, do you think?
The start?
Yeah, considering the start you had and now the points you
I think it's down to post-World Cup problems, and to the fact as well that we had to play the qualifiers for the Champions League. It takes always a lot of out of you, and overall I believe that as well we found a better balanced team during the season.
And do you think if the form you've had this year, you can take that into the whole of next season?
That's our challenge, is to finish well and to take that strength into the next season, of course, because the start of the season is linked with belief as well, and we just can strengthen belief by finishing well.
Okay guys, if we can come in now, thank you.